Hello everyone, my name is Stephanie, and this is my first video that I've ever posted on YouTube. I'm going to apologize in advance. I hope I don't sound like I'm reading to you, but I have a few notes as to what I need to say about what's happening now. A few weeks ago, I went to have a pre-op visit because I recently had carpal tunnel surgery. During my pre-op visit, my doctor told me that my triglyceride numbers were up and that it was a possibility that I would go on an additional cholesterol med. I'm already taking 2 or 3 high blood pressure meds and a high cholesterol med. So when she said that to me, I thought, I don't want to take another pill. And I asked her about bariatric surgery, and to my surprise, she just started nodding her head yes. And I really thought that she was going to say, oh no, you don't need to do anything like that. But to my surprise, she was very happy to write out a referral for a bariatric clinic. A while back though too, I saw a monitor. I work at a hospital that has a bariatric clinic, and I walked past the television in the cafeteria that was kind of advertising the clinic, and they were talking about the criteria for bariatric surgery. And I was watching and I looked at it and I thought, okay, well, I seem to fall into those categories, and I really hadn't thought of myself as a person that qualified for bariatric surgery. So when I was thinking about the criteria, and I thought, well, I have high blood pressure, I have high cholesterol, I have obstructive sleep apnea, I have GERD, I have arthritis in both of my knees and tendonitis in both of my ankles, and my BMI is about 38.5. So evidently I do qualify. And I've also tried and failed many attempts to lose weight, either on my own through counting calories, or I tried Jenny Craig once. I've tried Weight Watchers many times. And so all of those things kind of qualify me for the surgery. So I called the clinic and got my appointment. And the day before the appointment, they had an information session that described all the things about the surgery, and you got to meet the surgeons from the clinic. And all that was well and good, but really what I liked was when a former patient got up and told his story about what it was like before he had the surgery and what it was like now. And I could really relate to everything he was saying. He talked about his sweet tooth and how he had trouble with portion control and those sorts of things. So I started to realize that weight loss surgery was probably a good idea for me. So when I went to the clinic, the doctor said everything was pretty straightforward. He was very familiar with my insurance. I have the insurance through my hospital, and I use all of the hospital's physicians. So he said that he didn't think that I would have any problem being approved for the surgery. I had my first clinic visit on April 19th, and I just had the second visit just yesterday on May 13th. My insurance requires that you have, the patient has to have 4 clinic visits before it can be approved for, or before they get submitted for the approval process. So I've already had 2 visits, and and then June and July would be the next 2 visits. So kind of excited about that. I was a little concerned because I'm not even back at work yet. I had carpal tunnel surgery. I was off for 4 weeks. It was on my dominant hand, and so I couldn't work. So I'm a little bit concerned about just a couple of months down the road, I'm going to be having surgery again and out possibly for at least 3 weeks. So, but this is my health we're talking about. I mean, I really want to have this so that my health improves. I already, when the labs came back for the pre-op work for the carpal tunnel surgery, she called and said, I didn't like your glucose numbers. So I'm thinking, well, I'm, just a few steps away from diabetes too. So I really feel that the surgery is the best thing for me. So in the meantime, I've been on YouTube and I've been watching everyone's videos and just really just amazed at the transformations that I see. And I'm sorry, can't see anything. And I'm seeing the kind of results that my primary care talked about. My primary care told me that her patients that had the gastric bypass surgery were very, very happy, and she hardly saw them anymore because their health improved so much that all these frequent clinic visits to her weren't happening anymore. We talked about the lap band, and she just discouraged that she didn't think that was the best thing because the patients that she had that had the lap band didn't seem to be as happy. They didn't lose as much weight, and she just felt because you had to constantly go back to get the lap band adjusted, that she didn't think it was the best fit for me. So so now it's kind of down between the Roux-en-Y gastric bypass and the vertical sleeve. I really didn't know much about the vertical sleeve before I went on YouTube researching, because they really didn't talk about it much in the information session. But when I asked the surgeon about it yesterday, he said that they do offer the vertical sleeve and that I would be a good candidate for either the vertical sleeve or the Roux-en-Y. So I have to make a decision by the next clinic visit, and I will continue to watch YouTube and watch everyone's videos to try and get as much information as I can about the two. I'm not sure. No one mentioned it, but I'm not sure if the insurance would be a factor in this, if they would approve one over the other. So I decided to document my journey like I've seen everyone else do. I think it's really good for me to be part of a community. It helps me be accountable, and it is really good to see other people's success because it's really visible for me. And I need that kind of encouragement. So in the meantime, just kind of start out with some of my numbers. I weighed, on the first clinic visit, I weighed 240 pounds. And at my highest, in the past, my highest weight was about 249. The second clinic visit, I was about 233, so I'm down 7 pounds. And it's kind of interesting. I've been at home for these last 4 weeks, and so my routine has really changed. I don't go to McDonald's for breakfast anymore, and I'm not going through the drive-thru as much, so those calories that I was normally taking in along with like an afternoon candy bar and things like that weren't happening while I've been at home. And the elevator's not working in my building, so if I ever had to go out, I had to walk up and down the stairs, and I live on the top floor of my building. I mean, it's only 3 flights, so it's not that many flights. So at the clinic where I go, it's a team approach, and during these last 2 visits, when I talked to the dietitian, we talked about setting goals to prepare for the surgery and to prepare for the diet that comes after that and the lifestyle changes. So, right now my goals are to increase the amount of exercise, to obviously go through the drive-through a little bit less, and to get more fruits and vegetables into my diet. And then I'm going to start journaling as soon as my hand is better and well enough for me to start writing again. I mean, I can do a lot of things with my hand, but for some reason holding those small items like a pen or a toothbrush are very challenging right now. So so when I'm really better at the food journaling, or I'm sorry, when I'm better at writing, I'll start journaling my food a little more. Otherwise, I'll just do it here on YouTube. I hope to lose about somewhere between 15 and 20 pounds prior to or by my last clinic date. And the doctors mentioned during the information session that it's really good to lose a few pounds prior to your surgery, because the insurance sees it as a person who's really motivated to lose, and will kind of stick with the diet and keep the weight off after the surgery. And I read somewhere else or saw on another YouTube video that people who do lose weight before their surgery usually have a more successful outcome later on. So that's my goal for now. Those are my goals for now. So that's about it for now. I plan to post maybe once a month or a little more often if something comes up that I really need to talk about, or if just depending on what happens. So I really thank everyone for watching, and please subscribe, please send comments, and I'm really looking forward to this journey, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.